Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to League Zero Advanced Division, and today we have an absolute firecracker of a match. Getting ready, setting up the lobby for you guys. It is Redveil versus Kingdom, and so far in Advanced Division, these are probably the two top dogs that are going to be going at it today. I'm Rocket. I'm joined here by Stratocaster. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Excited for some great Overwatch coming up. As you said, Kingdom and Redveil, two teams undefeated in regular season, clashing here. One of these teams will leave with a loss for the first time in this season of League Zero, and I gotta be honest, I can't be more excited. I think both of these teams are absolutely stacked, and I mean, it's gonna be some good Overwatch.
Yeah, we did see these two teams match up during the first split tournament finals, where Redveil took the win 3-1 versus Kingdom. So they're going to be looking for a little bit of revenge today, at least Kingdom will be. And actually, very interestingly, both these teams have the exact same map differential and record in regular season play. So this match could have huge implications for playoffs.
Yeah, especially looking towards that number one seed. Obviously, number one and two seed kind of they both get their picks, but I mean, number one seed you get the first pick, you get to choose who you want, and number two seed falls to them. But you know, I think that this game might be a little bit tougher today. I know Kingdom missing Fish from that main tank pool. He's been playing for them. He's been doing extremely good. However, they do have a stacked roster, and everyone else is gonna come and bring their A game. So I'm mainly looking towards the DPS lineup of both Kingdom and for Redveil to see that head to head. And that's how I'm going to guess this game is going to go. It's going to be off of that DPS, hopefully DPS differential for the side of the victor. And, I think that both of these lineups are extremely close on paper. And I couldn't even tell you who's going to come away with the win today.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost looking like a coin toss for whoever you would take as the favorite in this matchup. Like you were mentioning with the DPS on, I know for Redveil, Azalea and Glacial are two very, very strong DPS players, and it does look like they are going to be starting map one here today for Redveil. As for Kingdom, Phone, obviously, established name in League Zero. We know how good Phone is. That other DPS slot, though, we are currently awaiting confirmation on who that is going to be starting map one. But I think another position that we really need to be looking at here is that flex support position. For Kingdom, Orion, yeah, I don't think Orion really needs any introduction. Very, very strong flex support.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, guys constantly hovering around like 4.3, 4.5, just ranked warrior and one of the best, if not the best, flex support in this league. But on the other side, you have Phoebe and Marquis as the support line, and their teamwork is one of the best parts of Redveil. They're able to kind of keep things all crunched together on this back line and keep the core just constantly alive, constantly being able to win out fights just based on their survivability alone. So we're going to have to see whether it's going to be solo plays or team plays that comes through for the whole of this game and see which one ends up working out better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is going to be a game that comes down to very, very minute mistakes, right? And it's going to be whatever team makes those mistakes more will probably end up losing this series. So while both rosters do look extremely strong on paper, probably the two best rosters that we have in League Zero Advanced, it is really going to come down to those just little mistakes and which team can capitalize on them the most.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's going to be really hard to figure out who's going to win. But if you had to guess, who would you put in the winning spot, and what would you say the map scoreline would be?
For me personally, I'm going to go with a 3-2 in favor of Kingdom. And I know for some people that's going to sound really weird, but I think for Kingdom, this is going to be a little bit of that revenge match, and this will create very interesting storylines going into playoffs with both these teams kind of splitting their match results. Obviously, with Redveil taking the last match, they 3-1. So I'm looking for Kingdom to come and play this match with a little bit of fire. Obviously, losing that first split tournament finals had to have been rough, and I think the support line of Orion and Vraja are really going to be standouts in this match. But I'm curious to hear what you think. What do you think is going to be the score of this match?
I mean, I'm expecting a 3-2 as well, but I think Redveil's going to come away with it. I mean,
Ooh.
just looking at the roster. They have Slime, Marquee, X Runner, who's been stepping up, doing better than anyone
Hmm.
thought he'd do. They have Slime, Glacial, and Azali, as you pointed out earlier on that DPS line. I mean, it looks so good, and I'm hoping they just do what they did before. I know that it's going to be made close here from the side of Kingdom, but I just think Redveil, they got what it takes to edge it out. They got what it takes to be the victor, and I, I just think that they are the better team.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's a little hard to bet against Redveil, despite what I said. Obviously, they've probably been the strongest team throughout the season so far, and we're still waiting on that last DPS player to get into the lobby here from Kingdom before we can get started into the match. But Redveil did end up winning the coin toss, and if you had to pick a control map, which control map do you think would best suit Redveil here coming into this match against the Kingdom?
I mean, Red Veil, they're jack of all trades team, master of all trades, if, even if you want to go that far. I think that, obviously I'd like to see Li Jiang. I think that's the most dynamic map, but I'm not even sure if that's in the pool.
It is no
Uh,
longer in the pool,
yeah,
unfortunately, but
it does suck because Li Jiang is just the best map in the game. But, I think maybe coming out here with an Oasis would be a smart move. I think it,
Mhm.
suits them really well. It kind of just plays to their strengths. What would you think? What do you think the control map should be?
Well, going back to what you said about Redveil kind of being that jack of all trades team, master of all, if you will, I think Oasis would definitely be a map that you would look for then. You can play a very wide range of compositions on all 3 points, really, minus University. That kind of tends to stick more towards that brawl style, but on Gardens and what's the other one? City Center? Something like that?
Yep, City Center.
Yeah, City Center. Both of those maps lend themselves very well to a very wide range of compositions, and I think we could really see anything. Obviously, Advanced likes to get a little bit wacky with their compositions. So we'll have to see if that plays into this match at all. Maybe we'll see some Roadhog. You never know.
If we see Roadhog, I think that would just be either the most BM or the funniest thing I've ever seen come out. Because this is such a high stakes game. This is for who's going to go undefeated, most likely, for this season. And,
Hmm.
I. I just don't expect to see any Roadhog unless it's got like a Sigma next to it. You got the Tracer just absolutely pounding, which we know these Tracers, they could just take this game into their own hands. But in the end, I don't expect to see much of it.
Yeah, we have no trolley gang in the lobby. I want to say thankfully. So I'm probably not. Yeah, you're probably right that we're not going to be seeing any Roadhog today. It does look like the map pick is in, and it looks like we're going to be going to Busan first. So I think it's a very interesting pick. I wonder if Red Veil is going to be playing more for that six man or that ball style. Because those are kind of the two main compositions that you see on both Sanctuary and Downtown. The and Mecha Base even you could still play the ball there. So the compositions are still pretty wide open even on Busan.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see more of that ball play. It kind of does lend itself to, having that survivable backline, which we know Schleim and Marquis can do. And it's got that DPS pop off potential. But,
Hmm.
on Mecha Base, maybe some of the Rush. I love Rush on Mecha Base. I wish my team would run it. It's just so fun. But I don't know, because I believe that the six man from the side of Kingdom is pretty good. They have everyone they need. They got Phone on the Reaper who would just tear it up. They actually have Zappy as the other DPS right now
Hmm.
in the lobby. And I mean, it's we're gonna have to see how it goes.
Yeah, and it does look like we are about ready to head into the map. Both teams have given the R. So it does look like we're going to be heading straight into Busan here in just a moment. So I'm excited to get into this match personally. I'm sure everyone else
Now
here feels the
traveling to
same.
Busan.
It looks like we're going to be starting out here on
Initiating
Mecha Base.
passage.
Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna be the most polarizing because this one it might not lead to what we see in the other two sub maps. As I said, Rush here, probably the only viable Busan map for Rush. But it's going to be interesting here to see what teams come out on. Obviously, high ground, very important here, but the rotation's even more important, so it's going to be uh, extremely, extremely important yet
Ready
again.
for battle.
Oh, and double Rush. Look at that. I love to see that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing the rush mirror here. Maybe a few differences in DPS choices. It looks like Azalea is going to be starting out on the Symmetra. Zappy looking to do the same. Could just be for the teleport out of spawn. But otherwise, it does look like we are looking at a direct mirror here. So, it's always nice to see that honest mirror on map 1, kind of setting the tone here early in the series. And it looks like the spawners are going to open up. We're going to be heading straight into map 1 here, Mecha Base on Busan. Both teams opting to take the right side of the pillar. Pretty standard setup so far as the Ryans start swinging on each other. Immortality fields, of course, from both sides. But so far it is just the Poke War. But it's Flawless and Orion who are actually going to fall first. And look at this, Redveil is taking the momentum straight away.
Yeah, as you said, momentum gained. The mirror matchup, it was not quite. Symmetra was able to give the advantage towards the side of Redveil in that longer fight, and they did more damage than the Cassidy on the other side could do, and it just allowed them to win that fight quick and easy. And now coming into this, a freeze and the shatter from Speed.
Yeah, the fight at this choke is going to be very, very difficult here for Kingdom to try and break, especially when you have Speed laying down the hammer like that, hits the 2K immediately with a shatter, and his team is able to clean up the rest.
Yeah, what a shatter from him, just taking that advantage of the freeze from Glacial to be able to run that shatter and, run down everyone on the other team. The TP comes out. This window is going to be used early here, and we do see the advantage going towards the side of Redveil for now, but a freeze comes out, so potential for swing.
Yeah, the Blizzard looks like it should clean up this fight. Zappy, though, is going to take down Speed, so both Reinhardts actually traded out. Glacial somehow gets an environmental kill with the Blizzard, but it still looks like Redveil will be able to hold on Orion, maybe finding a late pick there onto Azalea for this next fight. But yeah, it's kind of just Redveil. They're reading Kingdom very well. The TP there from Speed, kind of stalling it, that momentum, not giving up all that early space. It was really beneficial.
Yeah, I guess Phone just somehow slid off the map after getting frozen. That's kind of silly. But, into this fight, this Blizzard from Phone is going to be so important. It's going to really swing, and this beat from Schleim to counter, almost as important.
Yo, the shatter coming out early from Flawless only catches onto Speed. And now ultimates from both sides. The Deadeye coming out. Flawless will be able to find the pin kill onto Speed. And now this is Kingdom's into this fight. They're starting to take the space. X-Runner is going to get demeched, and now the fight is starting to move over to point. Orion and Psychopath are cleaning up the fight, and it doesn't look like Kingdom are finally going to get some footing onto this point.
Yeah, footing they may have. However, they did go down 93, so it is going to be final fight if they do lose here. However, that was a great fight taken from them. I love the aggression that they took. Flawless coming out there and just laying down that hammer straight on the Speed, giving him a taste of his own medicine, and able to find the pin kill off of that. So I'd love to see them go fast like that again. They have window here. However, Redveil is setting up on this far side, so not longer sightlines here. However, an early wall from Phone, and then a TP across. Oh, this is big from Redveil.
Yeah, teleporter play comes across, but Psychopath is going to find Phoebe out with the self-destruct. Marky going to get the trade out onto his counterpart in Orion, and Flawless will take down Speed. The fight devolving back onto point. A photon barrier kind of late from Azalea, maybe looking for a swap.
Oh, boop.
But it looks like Redveil is just going to find the reset Raja, getting the double boop kill there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great fight from the side of Kingdom. But, they were just able to run down the TP, and they were allowed to walk back in. Now this wall from Glacial is going to let Redveil cross, so potential now to be met in the middle. However, they're going to have to watch a boop off the side here.
The shatter from Flawless beautifully blocked there by Speed, and the Amplification Matrix does command a little bit of space. The map kind of flips right now, and the Blizzard finally coming out here from, I believe that was Kingdom. Phone throwing that out a little bit early, and Azalea is actually going to pick off Orion early, so that BAP heal, suddenly you've lost a lot of your sustain, and Flawless and Phone will fall in turn. The Deadeye off to the side, getting marked there by X-Runner, and now it does look like Redveil is going to find the flip, and this is dangerous territory for Kingdom.
Yeah, X-Runner is going to get, or Psychopath is going to get hunted down here. They're just going to try to touch. Gets it, but loses the mech at expense. Flawless back on the ball. Blizzard now on point. It covers the whole thing. Great from Glacial. Orion's back. He's up top here. Not much he can do. Just looking down upon his friends. Beat now, just to add insult to injury, and that's going to be it. Phone not even going for the touch. And
Nope.
that's the first sub-map going over the way of Redveil after a very back-and-forth series. So, next map could go the other way.
Yep. We were talking very early on about the flips and the changes in momentum that we might see here on Mecha Base, and we saw that immediately here in round 1. Obviously, Redveil was taking the momentum extremely early, but as soon as Kingdom were able to get that flip, they started holding on, and really it was that last fight, the Blizzard, not finding a ton of value there from Phone, and Orion falling quite early. You just don't have that sustain, and you lose that longer fight. So again, very, very close first round, and not too many compositional changes. Kingdom is going to move forward to the 6-man, though.
Yeah, it's as we talked about earlier. Battle of the survivable backlines. Orion went down early. His team didn't have the sustain to win the fight. It is going to be 6-man versus Rush here. It is going to be hard for Flawless to get that engaged without getting blown up, but somehow
Marky.
The Sombra goes down first. Marky with 2, both DPS. Oh my lord.
Yep, Marky there with 2 very, very early picks, and that is not something that you can afford in 6-man, kind of the Neo Goats. And as you know, once one player falls, the rest tend to follow. And yeah, it just looks like Kingdom is going to opt into the Rush Mirror. An early wall is going to come out from Glacial, but doesn't look like it's going to catch much.
Yeah, it took them a while to break that. Now Phone going on the backline forces the lamp. However, Flawless fire struck down there by Speed. Azali does have this High Noon. Probably not going to use it. Oh, and that lamp is just too late to save the Mecha Psychopath. It's just going to be Redveil backing up here. I mean, they really just look untouchable. It looks like Kingdom doesn't even know what to do against them on this sub-map at least.
Yeah, a couple late staggers into that fight. It doesn't really feel like they got too much of a reset. Flawless was kind of left out to dry there after the wall from Glacial came out. But now this is probably going to be the first clean team fight we see from Kingdom. An early amplification matrix on the back high ground there from Marky. It does look like Kingdom are just going to opt to wait this out. Maybe try and take the Mega in the meantime. But a lot of space is going to be commanded here by Orion's amplification matrix. Zelly's going to try and counter that with a Deadeye. Doesn't find much. But now the space is going to be gained here by Kingdom, and finally they're finding some footing in this map. But the shot from Speed
somehow doesn't catch on the Vraha, but the Blizzard here is going to be able to follow up. Freezes Flawless, and the rest of Kingdom just has to back away. Nothing they can do here. The Diva's going to get staggered. Well, it's actually going to be the Lucio who dies last, but it's just time after time. Speed finding the better of Flawless with these shatters, and I mean, Kingdom just looked lost.
Yeah, there hasn't really been kind of that initiative. They almost look a little bit scared coming into some of these fights. And now you don't really have a ton coming into this fight. You do have a Deadeye, but Redveil has a Deadeye of their own. And look at this kind of early aggression there, and it's just a massacre. They're not even able to get to the point. Phone will get the touch, but Psychopath is going to end up getting demacked, and this was dominant from Redveil. They're going to take map 1 of the series.
No word can describe it better than dominant. Redveil were just able to get in there quick, get in there clean, losing no people, and just absolutely dominating. The bomb from X-Runner combined with the pin from Speed. What more could you want? The man gets play of the game. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, Speed obviously looking like a little bit of a player of the match candidate in this first map here. Kind of getting the better of Flawless in this main tank matchup, especially when we look at the shatters. But one other player I think needs to be shouted out here is Marky on the side of Redveil on that flex support role, kind of getting the better of Orion in a lot of these circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, it's as we said earlier. I stated it once, I'll say it again. Orion was just not living too much, and somehow Marky was the damage dealer for his team. You saw in that first fight of Downtown, he picked both of the DPS before they had a chance to do anything, and that just allowed Redveil to go in, and Marky, exceptional. He's keeping Speed alive. He's doing the damage. Everything a good BAP needs to do.
Yeah, the kind of the damage difference kind of swung the momentum, especially in that first fight of downtown. Once the momentum swung into Redveil's favor, they never let it go. And they were the team constantly taking the initiative, using those ultimates first. And we look back at that last fight, X Runner using that self destruct so early, and that was just kind of the signal for Redveil to go and get all those picks. It was such a fast fight. And that's really what you need to do. You need to keep Kingdom on their toes. You can't let them get any momentum here if you want to win this series.
Yeah, it's just going to be really tough for Kingdom to come back into this. It is their choice of hybrid map here, so maybe they'll choose something that fits them a little better. But, I mean, as we said, Redveil, they can play everything. There's nothing they can't do. And this game is really going to be decided by that main tank. And right now, Speed just looking incredible.
Yeah, speed.
Next map,
Good luck there.
Hollywood, Eichenwald, and Blizzard World are in the pool. Which map would you want Kingdom to go to kind of retreat and maybe play a bit more their speed?
I would personally like to see them go Hollywood. I think maybe a little bit more of that dive could kind of force the momentum back into their favor. I don't know if you want to take a Brawl Mirror with Redveil again after what happened on the last map. So I think something that allows you to kind of switch the tempo, kind of force Redveil to stop playing the comp that they've gotten comfortable on so far, might work in Kingdom's favor.
I mean, if you're a Kingdom fan, you just have to hope that you don't get outclassed on every single comp. And they will be going Hollywood, which I think is a good choice. You can play maybe more of the dive, double bubble, potentially even double shield if you're on defense. So, yeah, I think a good choice from them.
Yeah, again, wide variety of compositions that you can play on this map. You could, on attack, you can look at the ball, the even some monkey comps. Even double shield, you could make double shield work very easily on Hollywood. So a very wide range of compositions that both of these teams can play. It doesn't look like there's going to be any swaps either, so no saviors for Kingdom coming into the series. In Redveil, why change anything? You know what's working.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of pressure is going to be on Kingdom right now. Obviously, you don't want to go down 0-2. That's probably a worst case scenario here, but a 1-1 is, that means it'll be a close game. And I'm hoping against all hope that this won't be a 3-0 sweep for Redveil, that this will be Kingdom's map to shine, using their strengths, using Phone, Flawless, and Orion to the best of their potential to be able to get the edge in this series and keep Redveil on the back foot. Or, well, I guess evening up the feet, because right now they're on the back foot. If they win the map, they'll be on even footing.
Yeah, and really that's all you can ask for right now if you're Kingdom trying to you just need to take it one map at a time, try and even out this series, get it back to 1-1. Then that way it's essentially just the 3.
Yeah. So we are going to be going in here in a minute, and Zapvy's still in for the side of Kingdom, which, maybe didn't do too great the last map, but we're going to see how well they flip around their play style this map. And, yeah, I mean, we're all ready to go. Once we get in here, it's going to be opening of the gates.
Yeah, going back to the mirror between Azalea and Zappy, especially once Azalea swapped over to the Cassidy on Mecha Base, we kind of saw them take the momentum almost completely, kind of getting the better of Zappy in a lot of those fights. But it does look like we have the R's in chat, and we are going to be heading into Hollywood sooner rather than later.
Yeah, let's hope we eventually get in here. But in the meantime, it is just going to be a bit of waiting. Oh, well, actually, here we go. Thank God we didn't have to wait any longer. We were running out of things to say, quite obviously. So, yeah, as we get in here, it will be the side of Redveil on attack, I believe. And, yeah, I expect aggressive nature from their gameplay, yet again, using speed to their advantage. Schleim probably going to be on Brig here, but I don't know. Do you think there's any chance they run a sort of rush comp here?
I think there's maybe a chance, but I don't think it's a very large chance. I think, yeah, I think this is pretty standard. It'll be interesting to see if X-Runner sticks onto the Sigma. But just a classic double shield comp coming out from Kingdom. Vraja on the Zenyatta might raise a few eyebrows, especially with how dive heavy a lot of teams like to go on their attack, but that Zenyatta with Discord Orbit can do a lot of damage, especially to monkey comps. And if X Runner is going to stick onto the Sigma, it could prove to be troubling for Redveil.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a monkey Sigma comp before, but in theory, it just your monkey goes for soft dives all the time and really kind of keeps it back. But yeah, it's not gonna work. They're gonna swap it over to D.Va here for the full dive potential. We're gonna have to watch and see if Azali's able to get any early headshots here, because they have a lot of poke with the Echo Hanzo plus the Mercy. And oh, it looks like Phone's caught out early.
Yep, Phone playing a very, very aggressive off angle, and Redveil were just able to find that out so early. And look at this space that has been gained by Redveil. As a result, point presence is completely in favor here of Redveil. Flawless is going to get antied up and taking a lot of damage, not able to find any footing here on the point. And Azali going to find that headshot kill onto Vraja. That's going to make it even more difficult to get back into this fight. Speed is traded out, but you need to touch the point. And with Flawless antied up again, that's not going to happen. A very, very fast teamfight win there for Redveil.
The sad thing was, I think that Kingdom wins that if they touch the point. They get so many kills, but oh, that is a classic letter number moment. Phone goes down again early, so this means they're gonna have to back up, and this is just really not what you want if you're Kingdom right now.
Yeah, and Vraja's gone back over to the Mercy, so it was maybe a little bit of a suspicious pick to start with, going onto the Zen early, but now we're back onto the Mercy, and Zappy is going to find Glacial off a beautiful pull there from Flawless.
Yeah, and that pick actually allows them to get Schleim as they try to go for the res, and now it looks like they're pushing forward. Marky gets taken down by Phone. That Mercy pocket really coming through here. Nano onto the Monkey, and Orion gets caught by a headshot. Zappy's caught out again by Speed, so this is a very even fight. However, Phone still alive, is able to take down Azali. It's so back and forth. Raha goes down, so now no pocket for Phone. She's getting collapsed upon, has to use the copy. The Flux comes out too. Copy onto the Monkey. Psychopath drops
Psychopath.
2! The Echo Mercy pocket goes down, and it looks like Redveil will just be backing up here.
Yeah, a copied Phone will be slept in the backline there at the back end of her ultimate, but no, another pretty clean fight there from Kingdom, finding those picks early. Phone actually started to wake up a little bit after that blunder on first point. Was able to get a lot of those trades. Orion and Zappy falling wasn't really that impactful.
Somehow the Dragon finds Azali. Bongo used now Glacial, taken out of that copy almost immediately. Orion finds Glacial. Now no DPS for the side of Redveil. Oh! Schleim got girl bossed by Vraha there, and it looks like that is a very clean fight. Nobody died for the side of Kingdom, and yeah, this footing is exactly what they needed. This Mercy pocket helping Phone to get these kills, it just makes all the difference.
Yeah, this double shield comp, especially on Hollywood second, is very, very difficult to break. You really need some form of ultimate to make that space and try and get your backline set up on the high ground, and they just haven't been able to do that yet. The responses from Kingdom have been very strong. They've been getting these early picks so often, more often than not, when compared to Redveil on this point. So we'll have to see if Phone is able to continue that. And Zappy and Orion, they're going to continue the train.
Yeah, I mean, Redveil are just having such a hard time contesting this high ground. Glacial actually stays in, gets spotted, but Flawless apparently didn't see him through the wall. Has to use that Fortify, but they won't be going down. They got Orion to heal him back up. And so it's looking all sunshine and rainbows now. They have so many ults to work with from the side of Kingdom as well, and there's only a Nano and a Bomb. Swap to Tracer here from Glacial, but maybe that's just to help focus Phone down a tad bit more.
Yeah, and we did see the Gravitic Flux last time from Psychopath do a ton of damage, getting that double kill. And with how choky the early parts of second point Hollywood are, very interesting to see if Psychopath can repeat that performance. But Glacial is just going to get picked off by Psychopath before the fight even starts. And again, we see the same thing happening.
Yeah, that Nano was used onto the Monkey, but they just trade backlines. Phone with the copy, Braha with the Valkyrie just to keep him alive, and that's gonna be that. Again, nobody falling, and it's just so hard for Redveil to find a foothold. They have Primal Rage, and that is it. Not exactly the best ultimate, and they might even catch out the Tracer. They do. That's going to be more time off the clock and more of an advantage going over the Kingdom as they keep the second point hold strong.
Yeah, and really not a ton of ultimates available for either side apart from a Dragon Strike from Zappy and an eventual Supercharger from Flawless. But Flawless is actually on the high ground. Look at Anti to end, taken down by Azali. So finally, maybe something is going to get going here for Redveil as Flawless falls. And now the ultimates are going to start being committed. Speed will use the Primal Rage. And another big Anti there onto Psychopath. It'll be interesting to see if anything will come of it. But it does look like there's just going to be trades on the point. And eventually this defense might be able to stabilize if these staggers keep coming out.
Yeah, Ryan's actually taking the 1v1 with Azali on the high ground. They both get pooped off. That's actually quite funny. Bongo used now, gets broken immediately by Glacial. However, Ryan does get the better of Azali in the end. Now, Speed, who is swapped over to Ball after that fight. Oh, a great anti here off the back of that pile driver. Ryan's 1 HP jumps out of it. Will he get taken down? No, not yet. It will be Vraha taken down. Zappy finds a headshot onto Glacial. But the trades are going the way of Redveil. The rally keeps him too strong. And Paul keeps him too survivable. Phone's copy not going to do much. And that's going to be Redveil coming away with the second point after they get this clean.
Yeah, there will be an opportunity for Kingdom to get the touch, but it does look like they're gonna opt to give it up here. Next one is gonna try and chase some of these staggers. Psychopath in a little bit of trouble here, but it does look like they're gonna get out unscathed. Redveil doesn't want them to though. They're gonna start committing the ultimate. X-Runner won't find Psychopath to self-destruct, and Azali will clean up the rest with Bob. And again, they're chasing these staggers so effectively. This is kind of what we saw happen on Busan, especially on downtown. They keep pushing their advantages so hard, and it makes it really difficult for Kingdom to get any footing.
Yeah, that combination of the bomb from X-Runner plus Speed running through them as this ball just allowed them to get that cleanup so much more. But, oh, Marky's actually hiding up top, maybe to get a sleep. Yeah, he gets it on the Psychopath. In the end, probably not going to matter as Azali's able to Azali gets taken down by Phone early. Mine's used on the high ground, forcing the people on the side of Kingdom into a small room. However, it will just be a res on the Zappy, and Slime goes down to Flawless. This fight, in the end, is going the way of Kingdom.
Yeah, Flawless will look at the double kill there. A little bit of cart progress was still gained there for Redveil, and really any cart progress you can get at this point with a minute left would be seen as beneficial. A little bit of a late stagger there onto X-Runner, but Azali's going to even that out with a very early pick onto Phone. The Supercharger is going to come out. Glacial will try and break it, but the recall ends up getting forced, and it does look like Redveil, they're just going to wait it out. Azali, though, not going to be so lucky. Orion will take them out early. And now, Speed is going to get forced out. The Nano Boost forced onto Speed, but X-Runner is going to find two picks onto Orion and Zappy. How did this happen? Marky with the massive nade. And Redveil, when it looks like maybe all was lost, the Nano Boost onto Speed creates enough space for them to find the crucial picks.
Yeah, but job's not done yet. This rally from Slime is going to keep him alive, as well as the pulse bomb catching on the Zappy. Ult's coming out from both sides now, but it looks like Redveil still has the lead. Orion going to hide from that bomb, but that window is going to be used less now. Psychopath 1 HP after that anti-flawless will get taken down. You have to touch the point here. They don't want to repeat their mistakes. Oh, but Redveil, their picks are going their way. Slime just too survivable on this point, and will be a full cap for the side of Redveil.
Yeah, it is in overtime. So it does give Kingdom an opportunity where if they full cap with more than a minute remaining, they do force Redveil to play for a draw. But with how that second point was looking, Redveil, they stay persistent and they are able to get all 3 points locked up here on Hollywood. And do you think we're going to see any compositional changes for either team here?
I mean, I'm hoping they don't run Orisa on attack, but, you know, they could find a way to make it work. If they just play the time, play it slowly for the side of Kingdom, they could make Orisa on attack work, but I'd expect more of a dive from them, maybe Monkey or Ball. But, you know, starting now, it looks like they're going to run that double shield and just play the time.
Yeah, if you can get the momentum started with a double shield and you can set up your positions early, especially on second point, it can be quite difficult to break. Obviously, the dive can have a little bit of trouble into the double shield comp if it's set up. So I don't hate the composition. But this first point, that's what you need to focus on first. You need to really set up your positioning. You need to kind of do what Redveil did on their attack. You need to find maybe an early pick, set yourselves up on point, and do not give up an inch of space to Redveil.
Yep, it is just going to be playing for picks here for both teams, actually. Zali has that Mercy pocket if they want to get that one-shot headshot onto Phone here, who's going to be up in the sky on this Echo, but they found it early, but a trade. Reza is available for both sides, though, and we'll have to see if they both do. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little early interaction. It's going to be nullified a little bit. The only casualties are going to be the res for either Mercy. Marky's been kind of on fire with these antis with Flawless. It takes so much damage, and it takes a while for them to get healed back up. But X-Runner is going to lose mech. That gives Phone a lot of space to play with, not needing to worry about X-Runner. And as you can see, Kingdom just running with that early momentum. Speed is going to get all their cooldowns forced on point. And this is exactly what you wanted to see. Yeah, this is exactly what you wanted to see from Kingdom on this first point. You find those early picks, you find that early momentum, and now you need to keep it rolling with it. You need to set up these positions on second point. But it doesn't look like there's going to be a contest here from Redveil. Won't last for very long. X-Runner will catch Phone getting a little too aggressive.
This is like potentially turnable if they're able to touch. Yeah, X-Runner and Speed both back here on this point. But, you know, I mean, Kingdom are still strong. They even have this window if they want to use it. I doubt they will. The res is going to come through, and Psychopath does go down. Dragon's Force now. Bob on point. Oh, this isn't looking good. They're using ults, but still losing as Slime and as Holly go down. X-Runner, who lost mech, now lost a life. The nade does come out onto Orion. However, Bob is still alive and finds Raja on the point, excuse me. Oh my lord, but Marky finds Zappy. It is such a cluster right now. But in the end, Flawless and Phone are able to just find the cap after a very long stall on the side of Redveil.
Yeah, and even with those late picks and those late ultimates, Redveil are still going to be able to get set up here on the high ground. So Speed is going to be able to take a very aggressive position here. The Primal will come out. Phone falls early, and now an Angry Monkey barreling towards the cart is going to get forced out there. And this is going to be... Kingdom are going to be able to gain a little bit of space here. A Pulse Bomb whipped by Glacial. And now this is where these tank ults from Kingdom are really going to come into play here with the Clump's backline of Redveil just on the high ground here.
Yeah, it looks like Redveil just going to smartly wait this Pongo out, except Phone goes a little too close to the sun there, Icarus. Rez does come out onto them, and Glacial gets caught up by Orion, trying to 1v1 a Sigma, but it wasn't actually a 1v1. Rez now actually somehow gets found on the Glacial, but Slime will trade their life for it. Bomb comes out, somehow finds Psychopath, and yet again it's so back and forth as X-Runner goes down. Flawless trying to live. Azali drops down to point, but is getting poked down, but has the Ana pocket to live, and Glacial comes back and cleans house with a nice 3k there at the end.
Yeah, Psychopath dies there with the Flux. Unfortunately, the self-destruct from X-Runner finding a gap through the shield of Flawless to find that pick. And now we're just going to keep seeing this high ground position taken by Redveil. And it's going to be very difficult, I think, for this double shield to break it. It does look like they're kind of just going to play the cart here. A very a backline bob there. It's going to be interesting to see if it really catches anything. But Marky will find the pick onto Vraja. Phone trades it back out with Speed, but Orion falls in turn. And it's just going to be Phone on the Reaper running around trying to find these picks. But have you forgotten about Flawless and Zappy still on the point? Phone finds another pick in this fight on the Reaper. And a lot of cart push being gained here from Kingdom. And they're going to chase these kills. Phone with the shotguns still running at the back line. Somebody needs to take care of this guy.
When I see double shield, I don't immediately think Reaper, but Phone is making it work, just tearing through these tanks. In fact, Glacial and Speed trying to dive the backline here, making this window null and void. However, Bongo will be committed. Rajak goes down yet again, but Speed will also be traded. Azali 1 HP, just slowly getting healed back up here. However, no Lamp and no Bongo means a lot of a harder time here for Kingdom as they try to contest this Ashe on high ground, but it seems no one's going up. Zappy trying to find the headshot, just can't, and now it's half HP. Orion will get caught up by Glacial here. The Bob on the high ground doesn't quite go down to point, however, the picks are going the way of Redveil. So in the end, they will be able to take it after some hard fought back and forth.
Yeah, the phone got marked beautifully there by X-Runner when the Death Blossom came through, stemming the value of the Reaper. And now we're gonna see Vraja move over to the Brigida, and I think this is probably the swap that you wanted to see as soon as phone swapped off of that Echo, you move over to the Brig. Try and stem a lot of what Speed and Glacial are doing, and really, like, those are the two that are being the biggest nuisances in my opinion, and we're gonna see Kingdom try and take the high ground. But an early engage comes out, and Orion is already down. Azali, with the dynamite, finds two.
Yeah, great slam there from Speed to be able to set up that dynamite for success. Bomb actually came out there from X Runner, and Flawless is just gonna be staggering themselves actually. And by the time Flawless gets back and set up on this high ground, it might be final fight.
Yeah, 50 seconds and counting here for Kingdom to make something happen. The cart is quite close to the finish line of second point. But look at the ultimates that you're going to be pushing into here. You have a Nano and a Pulse Bomb, potentially Bob as well, for the side of Redveil. And really, only a Dragon Strike and maybe Self-Destruct in the Amplification Matrix. So, ults for both sides, but it's really going to be who takes the initiative. And so far, it does look like Redveil are going to be using those ults early. Not finding a ton. Glacial will find the melee kill onto Vraja in the backline. And yeah, the pick just not really working out. Zappy's gonna find a couple picks though onto Azalea and Phoebe, so maybe a little bit of.
They got a touch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Flawless actually gets booped.
Speed actually boops Flawless towards point, so the touch is not going to be an issue. It's going to be keeping it up. And the Flawless getting bullied onto point will drop the supercharger, but it's really a matter of time. How long can this stall last for? It does look like the momentum is in favor of Redveil. Psychopath, they're going to get demeched, and a celebratory self-destruct from X-Runner will find the baby form of Psychopath. And that's going to be it. Redveil, hold strong.
Yep, that indeed was all that she wrote. Redveil with a great defense, great swaps come out from them to be able to allow them to hold on that second point. And now 2-0 Redveil. If you're Kingdom, you gotta be thinking, okay, we can turn this, but I mean, if you're Kingdom, you gotta be thinking, how are we gonna turn this? This is gonna be one of the hardest things that they're gonna have to do is get 3 straight against Redveil. And I mean, I don't know. Do you think they're gonna be able to do it, Rocket?
It'll be difficult, but I think we maybe have seen stranger things come out in the past. It's not over yet if you're Kingdom. But you're going to have to start that comeback on the other side of the break. We're going to take 5 minutes here as the teams kind of get recuperated. And so are we. So we're going to take 5 minutes. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Alrighty, welcome back to this League Zero match between Redveil and Kingdom. Currently, Redveil up 2-0 after two very dominant showings on Busan and Hollywood, respectively. I'm Rocket, once again joined by Stratocaster, and we were talking right before the break about if you're Kingdom, the comeback needs to start now. Obviously, you're down 2-0, and you kind of need to get the sour taste of those last two maps out of your mouth and try your best to win this next map that is in front of you. And do you think they'll be able to do it?
um, well, that is the question. Personally, I think no. I think the run ends here for Kingdom. It's just going to be a 3-0 for Redveil. However, there's always a chance. I mean, maybe you see more phone just popping off. She had 71% of her team's elims that last match. So, I mean, maybe if you see more of that and you see Redveil kind of start to slip into complacency, then maybe you see Kingdom come back. But if Redveil keep playing like they did, I don't see them losing this map.
Yeah, well, it'll have to start on Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is going to be our next map. And, we were talking about compositions, and I don't think we're really going to be seeing anything surprising here. Monkey Dive has kind of always been the staple here on Gibraltar, obviously taking advantage of those high grounds with Winston. But there is also an opportunity for some ball to be played, and Speed hasn't shied away from it so far as a counterpick in this series.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see the comps. I mean, I'd have to guess just more of that regular dive with the Echo Ash. I mean, it's been working perfectly. Azali on this Ash has been MVP level, always finding those picks, headshots, dynamites, perfection. And it's just been exactly what Redveil have needed. However, as you stated, compositions, schmompositions, we spoke about perhaps a hog. Probably not going to be a hog, but I hope there's a hog. I think that would be fun to watch. And yep, we're just gonna be waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. We are actually going to be seeing a swap come out from Kingdom. Speedymans is going to be in for Vraja. And part of me thinks that maybe Speedymans could be their Brig player. We've seen Vraja pretty much shy away almost completely from Brig so far in this series. So that would be my personal guess as to why Speedymans has come in here for Vraja.
I think that's smart too. Having that dichotomy of who you want to play when, it's always going to help out, but it kind of leaves you to be readable, one-dimensional. But let's see if perhaps Speedymans is the key that Kingdom needed. Usually you don't see it in a support player, but if Speedymans is good enough, Speedymans might just carry the next 3 maps. Who knows?
Yeah, it could very much be a possibility that Speedymans is the missing piece that Kingdom were looking for. And now we're going to finally be able to take a look at the compositions that these two teams are going to be running here on Gibraltar. And yep, to be expected, the Monkey Dive, the On a Brig backlines for both teams, the only differences being Azalea and Phone on the Ash and Echo respectively. So no real surprises, and from what we've been seeing so far, maybe it was a surprise that Kingdom needs to get themselves back into the series.
Yeah, let's hope so. Interesting. Right now we're seeing Hog Arissa. It's gonna be odd. And hopefully they're just gonna do it for this pull hook and nothing more. I want to see if they can get this pull hook as Azali is peeking out for this dynamite. Oh, there's potential. They get the halt. No hook. The hook isn't there. Flawless. Not in time. Oh my lord. An X runner on the Zarya now. Psychopath also on the Zarya. They said it before in chat. They're gonna be running the Zarya 1v1.
Yeah, just some early space being taken there by the tank lines to try and get the backline of the Kingdom set up. But Azalea is going to find Zappy early, so no Tracer, no cart push going to be gained here for Kingdom. And now it does look like and X-Runner want to push their advantage just a little bit more. X-Runner is going to pick off Bones, so now no DPS for the side of Kingdom. Zappy will get the better of Glacial in the Tracer 1v1, and that might mean that the cart can finally get moving. Speed in a little bit of trouble, needs to back out onto the high ground, and a little bit of a soft reset here for Redveil.
Yeah, both monkeys coming up on this charge. Psychopath takes themselves down. Marquis also going down, but Flawless trades his life for it. Wasn't able to get that primal just in time. Speed now on the low ground, pressuring out supports with Azali. As we spoke about, just doing God's work on Ashe, and that's going to be that for this fight. Phone swapping over the Soldier, and Zappy going down to Glacial, actually. Crazy kill there from him. Is going to mean that it's going to be more time off the clock for the side of Kingdom, and they're really not taking these engagements all too well. They have this nano now for this engagement. We're going to have to see how it goes. However, Speed does find Orion early and is just trying to pressure him out. Does have this primal if things get too hairy, but he will just be backing up to his team.
Yeah, and there's really not a lot of point progress that has been made. Obviously, you're normally looking at your Tracer to get a lot of that point progress started. But the cart really hasn't moved. It's kind of sat under the car wash right now, and it's just Kingdom. They're not really able to find a ton of the space. The Nano Boost is available here for Orion, and they are going to use it to try and pick off X-Runner and Speed here. But you're looking at the tanks here. If you're Kingdom, you have no look at the back line, and that is a grab from X-Runner. It is absolutely massive. On point, X-Runner and Azali are going to find the picks. Phone tries out Glacial, but it doesn't look like really anything is going to come of it.
Yeah, the rally from Speedy Ments was too good there. Kept everyone alive. However, Phone goes down. She did have the visor, and Flawless antied up, taken down by the... Oh, the Dynamite couldn't be healed up because of that anti, and now backing up yet again. The Bob thrown in just for good measure. However, a great whip shot there for Speedy Ments to make sure it doesn't really get anything done. Kingdom just constantly on the back foot. They are going to have visor and grab, but if they're not able to do much with it, this could very well spell disaster. Actually, an early visor here. Not quite sure what the plan is, other than to maybe chunk down Speed, who's like a quarter HP. But they will be able to get out, so that really goes to nothing.
Yeah, you trade visor there for primal, which could be beneficial, but Marquis does have the nano, so it's going to be built up quite quickly. The graph goes out onto the high ground, but there's going to be zero follow-up.
Oh, no.
Picks off Orion. It's just, they're not able to get anything going.
Yeah, Zappy finds two with the pulse, so maybe just the solo tank killer of Zappy finds both. Slime is going to be fending off Flawless here, who did Primal Rage. Anti here onto Zappy, so now potentially, finally, they are going to be able to move this card into this checkpoint. Both tanks are back to stall. Rally now from Speedy Ments, and it is going to be just time on point. Who's going to get these kills? Graph comes out.
Oh, the graph, the pulse! Glacial coming up huge here for Redveil. The grab from X-Runner was massive as well. Now Speed is going to be looking to clean up this fight. Phone goes down, and now really the only person who can touch point there is Flawless, but he'll fall. Psychopath not able to get anything going, and X-Runner and Glacial. Wow. What an explosive end to that round.
Yeah, I mean, that was extremely upsetting for anyone who is a fan of Kingdom. They weren't able to do anything. They had the advantage, but the brawl on point proved fatal with that grab pulse bomb combo, and now they have a lot of work to be done if they want to stay alive in this map, stay alive in this game, stay alive in this series. And I don't know if they can do it. I mean, Redveil looks so good, so aggressive. They're taking every angle, every high ground. They're doing exactly what they need to do. And it's just not enough for Kingdom. It's enough for Redveil. They're winning.
A lot of the ult usage from Kingdom as well just hasn't been as clean. We saw the differential in value that Graviton Surge was getting from both of the Zaryas. Psychopath firing theirs up on to the high ground where zero follow-up can be gained, especially when I believe Flawless was dead at the time the grab was fired. So when you look at what X-Runner was able to do, there was no contest.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Redveil are gonna run the Epizooks special of a rush on Gibraltar. It's gonna be funny to see. And yeah, they actually come out on it. They TP across. They're going to just try to chunk down this monkey who gets close. Actually, the pin comes out. Doesn't quite catch for X-Runner, who is now on main tank. And somehow Flawless goes down.
Yeah, Balls gets stuck in this small room with the Brawl comp. That's never gonna go very well for you. And both it's just with Kingdom on the run. Psychopath will find a pick onto Azalea, but a lot of space has been gained here for Redveil. You can afford to lose people at this point. Your Zarya is high charge, and now you can kind of just wait for some of this cart progress to come through. Glacial is just gonna sit on cart. Nothing really needs to be done. And Phone is going to try and pick off Marky here in the backline, but again, nothing really going to come out of it. X-Runner moving over to the Winston now, so no more Reinhardt.
Oh, Pulse Bomb goes wide for Phone, doesn't quite catch, and now Speed still alive, but Azali finds Phone, cart keeps on moving. Speed is so high charge right now, it's the microwave, and they're tearing it up. However, Flawless was able to charge up to that Primal Rage, and is now, oh, great mechanics there to keep Speed into his team's front line. And, you know, Glacial does find Zappy, but Marky is currently out of the fight. X-Runner on Monkey finds Speedy Men's. Oh, and it looks like while Flawless was primaling away, the Glacial, the rest of Redveil was able to come through. Or Phone back on the Doomfist, somehow finds two, and I mean, this looks like a hold. It's just a crazy fight.
Yeah, there were kind of, it almost seemed like 2 or 3 fights going on at the same time. You had Flawless primaling Marky out of the fight. But it was kind of Zappy and Phone who were kind of getting the better of the front line. Very interesting fight. Nothing really gained though from Redveil.
Phone in the back line comes through, slam up. Phone slammed them out of. Oh, that's a big nade.
Oh, that is a huge anti from Orion.
Flawless able to come back up here. Only 1 kill off of that is kind of sketchy, but. I mean, they did find at least one, right? Zappy now with this Bob is going to be able to find Slime and actually find Speed too without even having to use the Bob. They will get taken down by the turrets, unfortunately, but they have laid the groundwork for this win for the side of Kingdom. Now, Meteor Strike used by Phone and Rally used by Speedy Men's. X-Runner is not going to be able to get much with this Primal Rage. However, Azali finds Phone after that. Meteor Strike comes in, so backing up now is going to be the rest of Kingdom. They're just going to have to play safe for now. Psychopath still in this area, charged up. Bob now used for the side of, for the side of Kingdom, and it goes all the way into server, and Orion goes down. They got a touch, they don't!
Victory!
The C9.
Oh, no.
An unironic C9, and that is not the way you want it to go down if you're Kingdom.
Play of the game.
No.
Oh, man.
Kingdom just gotta touch that point. I mean, it may have screwed them over there. It screwed them over on Hollywood. They may have won Hollywood if they had touched the point, and they may have won here. That was just so unfortunate for them. But in the end, you gotta give it to Redveil. A nice 3-0. It looked good. They had great players. Azali being my player of the match, if we're allowed to give those out. But in the end, that's that. I mean, Kingdom no longer undefeated in the regular season, and Redveil, they're just the best.
Yeah, and it was a pretty dominant showing from Redveil overall. Really, after that first round of Busan, there was just nothing to get going there for Kingdom. And while it looks like they showed flashes at points in the series, Redveil were just able to keep the momentum essentially throughout the entire series. One player that I want to point out there was Marky for Redveil, was just doing so much work, getting some of those huge antis, getting some crucial picks at crucial times, and it was just a stable presence in that backline.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more that could have been done there. Redveil just playing better every position, outplaying, and, you know, I just don't see what Kingdom could have done differently other than touch the points.
Touching the point would have been a good start, but yeah, you also need to be winning some of these trade fights that were constantly going in favor of Redveil. It doesn't look like we're gonna get anyone in here for an interview. Um,
That's gonna be it then. Yeah, thank you all for watching. We're gonna go to a break, and we will see you all.
and welcome back. That was quite the ending to a match that I think a lot of people thought was going to be a lot closer. That being said, we have Schleim with us here for a post-game interview. Schleim, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, pretty chill. Just vibing with the boys after a good game, good win.
Yeah, speaking of the win, it was quite dominant for you guys. Were you expecting it to be any closer, or did you guys kind of come in with the mindset that you were better is going to be a 3-0?
We came in with pretty much the straightforward mindset of, yeah, this is going to be another game, another win, another dub. Just simple 3-0.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been working out for you guys so far. Obviously, haven't dropped a game in the regular season or even the first split in playoffs. You didn't drop a single game there either. So, I guess the question I have for you is how have you been able to keep up the dominance for so long?
Mainly keeping up with team synergy, having fun, chilling with each other, making sure that we're all caught up with our VODs and making sure that we're all caught up with practices. Pretty much just staying on top of things and staying on top of one another.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's a pretty tight-knit group of people that you got over there. And so obviously this was a pretty fast 3-0 for you guys. And I was kind of thought of this question just on the fly here. Is there another team that you think could pose a challenge or another team that you want to face now that you've taken down what I think a lot of people thought was the clear-cut number 2 team? Is there another team that you think could take that spot?
Uh, no, not really. Not off the top of my head that I
Surely
could think of.
game.
No, no chance. No, no. I wish, but no, I don't think so.
All right, Strata, do you got any questions?
Yeah, Slime. So we know you're the best main support out here. So I'm
Yes,
gonna ask
sir.
your opinion. Rocket actually preded against you guys to win this game. So what are
Oh?
your words to someone like Rocket, who is a Redveil doubter?
Well, I'll tell you very much, sir. We have never gone without losing a scrim because we don't scrim. I'm kidding.
Okay.
But in all seriousness, mainly doubting us is your own personal opinion, but also playing with us and understanding that we are probably the best team in this league, I mean, speaks for itself. So,
Listen, I've learned from my mistakes. All right.
exactly. See, he's
That's
learned.
all. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
Well,
but
do
I've
you
got
have
a
any
lot
other
of
questions?
confidence moving forward.
Do you have any other questions, Strata?
No, that's really it. I mean, we can all see how dominant Redveil is. I'm predicting Redveil to not drop another map for the rest of the league.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna have some fun and meme a little, but
Okay, not those maps. The funny meme maps you guys can drop. Don't worry about it.
listen, funny meme maps are when me and Marky decide to go in the back line and fucking nano each other. That's the most fun, but we'll save that for future games.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining us here, Schleim. Congrats on the win, and
No
wish you
problem.
luck
Thank you.
moving forward.
Thank you so much.
All
So
right.
now, coming into this next match, this isn't the only match that we had planned to be streamed today. Coming up next, we have Genetic going up against Trolley Gang. Genetic finding their first win last week. I believe it was against Easy Clap, if I'm not mistaken. But Genetic kind of riding high after that win. Do you think they'll be able to take down Trolley Gang, the masters of Roadhog, as one might say?
Well, to put it simply, Genetic have the French Canadian god that is Chief. So I think there is no way they lose. Genetic will win this game based off of
Very
Chief.
a bold prediction coming out here from Stratocaster, but that match still has about 45 minutes until it even gets started. So I think we're pretty much ready to end it off here.
Yeah. So thank you all for watching us. Stay tuned for the next game.